Hey Audrey, the water concept is really making an impact on the real estate industry.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and what happened is we have seen some other agents actually using this concept as well. But then we are a bit worried because we are worried of clients being misinformed and actually affecting the choice, and so that you can't retire as planned.
Therefore, today we are going in depth about this water concept.
Yes, we are. Alright, so Audrey, what's really the water concept?
It's wealth accumulation towards early retirement.
Yes, and who is it for? It's really for everybody. As long as you have started working, even you are planning to retire, this is really for you, and it's important so that you can actually start your retirement planning.
Yeah, so a lot of people will have questions like, oh, how old do we start?
Well, our concept goes like that. You should actually start as young as possible.
Yes. But if I'm like older already,
then it's time to plan for your retirement. You could be sitting on a pot of gold and you don't know what to do with it. Number one, or it's either you actually have another chance to move forward another time so that you can accumulate your funds further. Yeah, it's really important. But then how to even get started?
Yeah, I think this is a question that a lot of people will have in their mind, because a lot of people will be thinking, oh, we all know that property is a very good investment, especially in Singapore itself.
Yes.
But at the same time, we'll be like, oh, I think it's too expensive. I think it's beyond my budget. I think I don't have the money for it. I think I'm too old for it, or I think I'm too young for it, or anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So importantly, I think the water concept actually involves one very, very important thing, which is called a detailed financial planning. Alright, it goes into going into what you really need for your retirement. I have to say you got to identify your financial goals that needed. Okay, and on top of that, you have to do a detailed financial calculation to ensure that you have the funds available, the amount of funds that you can do into forced savings, and the amount of funds that you have for your rainy day funds as well.
A lot of us also don't think about using property as a retirement plan. We just think that we have one house, we stay inside, comfortable. I don't want to move again.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of thing.
Exactly.
And or if not, it will be like, I have one house already, but I don't have money for extra investment.
Yes.
The ABSD so high and things like that.
Yeah.
How to get all those, paying the ABSD will be like over the price of the house. I don't want to pay for that.
Yeah. So our concept actually involves not only owning multiple properties. In fact, if you're sitting on one, it could be nice to upgrade to another one, and eventually so that you can downgrade to get your funds ready. Because we believe in one thing, forced savings is very important. Because how often can you actually save a few $100,000 for retirement, or even a few $1 million for retirement?
I wouldn't say it's not doable, but it's not that easy too.
Yeah, it requires a lot of discipline.
Yes, super motivated to be able to do that.
Yeah. So right now, before we go further, I think we would need to explain how to even get started.
Yes, a lot of people will be wondering, and a lot of people will be very afraid to even want to get started.
Yes.
They will think like, should I speak to anybody or not? Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of people, a lot of clients, in fact, we met. They have done extensive studies. Yeah. So much so that we think that they really study too much, but they don't know what they want. Because when you have too many information, you start to wonder whether, am I making a right choice? And the more scared you are, the more reluctant you are moving. So end up, you don't do anything at all.
Yeah, I think with the vast information through the internet world nowadays, right? A lot of us are afraid to ask.
Yes.
But it's always good to ask questions.
Yeah, we also see a lot of know-all. They think they know, but actually they don't know.
Like I say, internet.
Yeah.
So we check for everything through the internet.
Yes.
Yeah, thinking that we will get all the information. But a lot of times it's through really more personalized communication that we understand more.
Yes. All right. This water concept, for it to work, right, you need to have a detailed, bespoke financial plan. Okay, I have to say this plan is not really you take from anywhere, you plug it in, you can use, because this is really a tailor-made plan for you. Yeah, not everybody can go into a private property. Not everybody can buy 2 or 3 properties. But as long as you do upgrade, I think that's important.
Yes. When we talk about property investment, early retirement, a lot of people will be thinking, I don't even have that kind of financial means to buy another property. How am I going to do that? I won't have passive income next time when I retire. Yeah, but what water concept is really about, like what we say earlier, is for everybody. Why are we saying it is for everybody? Because you can even do it via our HDB.
Yes. Okay, so importantly, this concept is not only for the well-to-do. Okay, not only for, I can upgrade to private, I can upgrade 2 or 3 privates, but it's even for HDB dwellers to upgrade to another HDB. And eventually what we are looking at is to have a property that you can downgrade or sell off or even generate passive income so that you can retire without working so hard.
So, David, how a lot of people must have this question in mind. Then how do we get started? What am I supposed to do?
Okay. Of course, what you can do is definitely to speak to us. But before you come to us, really, ensure that you are getting ready to buy a house, or you are planning to get a house, a property, or planning to get into the water concept. This is number one.
That will mean that if I'm staying in a HDB, I have to wait for 5 years.
Okay, definitely. If you are in a HDB, okay, it's too early to start a water concept on you if you are on year 1 of your owning a HDB. So you definitely have to wait for it to be a most MOP, but definitely you can understand the concept so that you can be looking around. But our suggestion is don't look around too much, because the more you look around, all right,
the more confused you get.
And the more fear you get. So eventually when you have to move, you are very fearful. All right, and the second thing is for private property owners, it's really towards the end of your SSD. Okay, the same idea applies. Today, if you start too early, what happens is you will be overwhelmed with information. You'll be always looking for good buys. But then if you cannot buy, you look for good buys, also useless. And eventually when you need to buy, you say, wow, the property now so expensive. I wish I could have bought 2 years earlier.
Yes. It's just like us ladies wanting to buy a bag, right? Now we see, this is probably $5,000, but another few more years later, it will probably become $8,000 or $10,000.
Exactly. Okay, so the key thing to know is the best time to invest or buy a property is always yesterday. But since yesterday is no longer around, so the best time to buy is definitely today. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's go into more details of this water concept.
Yeah. All right. Number one, the most important thing is extensive planning on financial.
Yeah, I think this is very, very, very important.
Yes.
We don't want to overstretch ourselves. We don't want to be putting in a deposit for property already, then suddenly realize that,
not enough funds.
Not enough funds die.
Yeah.
Then our deposit how?
Yeah. Or if not, you are buying property using the FIRE movement. You know what is a FIRE movement?
Yes.
Okay, the one that you use 70 to 80% for savings into your property so that you have barely enough to spend and things like that. So water concept, in contrast to FIRE movement, is totally different. Okay, in the sense that you don't have to save so hard until you sacrifice your own lifestyle.
Yeah, there's too many temptations around us. We don't want to sacrifice too much of our own lifestyle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the number one thing to do is you need to have extensive planning on your financial goals. What kind of goals are you looking at? Are you looking at 1 million to retire, 500,000 to retire, or even 3 million to retire? This plays a very important part in the next coming step. Then number two, the detailed financial planning on what is the available funds that you can use. Okay, what is the comfortable monthly installment that you can afford to pay? And of course, last but not least is your rainy day funds. Do you have enough for your rainy days in case anything happens?
Yeah, I think rainy day funds are really, really important.
Yep.
Really. Yes. So this is what we also have to bear in mind. Yeah, it's not asking you to take out every dollars and cents in your bank and all these things, in your piggy bank, and all these things to just be able to invest in another property.
Yes, that's definitely not the idea. Of course, if you can do that, perfect. Okay, but then of course, we believe in still having your lifestyle, because life is really short. You need to play hard, you need to invest as well. All right. And once you have your financial goals, financial planning all detailed, calculated out nicely, okay, you are now ready to look into a property.
Yes.
And how to spot the right property?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many properties in Singapore. Every year or even every quarter, I would say, there's at least
launches.
Probably 5 launches every quarter at least.
For this year year.
Yeah. So how am I going to spot the right property? Because everything seems so nice.
Yeah.
When you go to a show flat, everything seems so pretty. You want to buy every single, one of the property that you see.
Yeah, so importantly is number one, don't be emotional when you're buying a property. This is number one. Don't think that, because it's nice, agents say nice, everybody say nice, I go and buy. This is not the case. Okay, the next thing you need to do is really to spot a very safe entry price. Okay.
Yeah, recently we heard from a client that another agent told her that there will be an expected return of a certain percentage.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
If anybody can promise you a certain percentage of return on property investment, right, I think they must be super good.
They predict the future.
Yeah, because number one, our water concept does not involve predicting how much profit you make. But then we do make it so safe for you that you will not lose money. It's difficult to lose money, I say you will not. It's really wrong.
I mean, nobody can guarantee what happens, what's going to happen in the future.
Yes.
I mean, now with prices like that, even HDB over the last 2 years, it has gone up at least like 100,000, right?
Yep.
Nobody has expected that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. So importantly, what we are looking at is a safe entry point. Okay, I have to say, if you can go into, for example, an EC right now, okay, and you know that the expected launch going to be in the future is about 1,003, 1,004. All right, and if there's any buy EC that is going on right now at 1,002, I think that's difficult to say. Lose money.
Yeah, I mean, where can you find a new launch that is 1,002 now?
Yes, especially for EC lah, right?
Yeah.
But not only that, not only because of the price is, is a safe entry, you got to look at surrounding projects as well. Okay, surrounding probably at the same age, okay, same area, okay, is it selling higher or is it selling so much lower that, it doesn't make sense for people to go and buy your property next time? So these two important factors that you need to take note. Yeah.
So, let us do all this extensive research for you.
Yeah, and then the next thing you need to know is what is the comfortable amount of forced savings that you can go to. I have to say today, if you are earning $3,000,
yeah,
all right, probably $2,000 into expenses as well as property. The balance $1,000
for savings.
For savings or some luxury things lah. I have to say holiday, travel and things like that. So this is very important because you got to identify how much you are willing to put, you are able to put into these small savings without feeling, every month is so cash tight.
Yes. In fact, we don't want to, like you say, we don't want to be just, focus on savings and then have to neglect all the other things, all the other comfort in life.
Yeah. All right. Then, of course, the next thing is when you're choosing a property, what we meant by also don't be emotional and don't be greedy is, okay, you might think that, it's for investment. I'll go low, I'll go big. I just say low floor, bigger size, or more bedders.
Or the cheapest in the development.
Yeah. Okay. At this point of time, seriously, this is not a wise choice because what happens to Singaporeans when they're buying house or even PRs or even foreigners? Okay, they're looking for good units. Okay. So my suggestion is
good units, i.e.
I have to say high floor, good view. Okay, not facing HDB. Okay, not facing your neighbor so close. And probably, not facing rubbish chute and things like that. Probably these are the cheapest you can find in any development, including your HDB. And to you, you might think that, if it's for own stay, I think it's fine. But if it's really for investment, this might not be a wise choice because next time it's definitely going to be difficult to sell, difficult to rent. So important is, if you can, go high, go small.
Yes.
Rather than go low, go big.
Yeah, I think that's quite true.
Yep. Yep. And of course, last but not least is really your exit plan. Okay?
Yeah, exiting is very, very important,
Yes.
especially if you are buying something for investment.
Yes. Even for own stay lah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think exit is really very important because if not, you'll be sitting on a paper that you can't sell. Okay, I do have a property last time. My client bought it at a very cheap PSF but very high quantum. Okay, and end up, selling at a loss.
Oh.
The reason is because it does not have the exit value in the property.
Okay.
So he sold it at cheaper than developer sales after 5 years.
Oh my.
Of course, if you can hold, then doesn't matter. But at that point of time, he cannot hold anymore. So this is the risk that you are taking if you never have a sound exit strategy in place.
So he did not do his detailed sums before. Lah.
Yes. And of course, the next thing on exit strategy is be very focused on your goals. Don't be greedy. Okay, don't think that every property I gotta make $200,000-$300,000 or even close to $1 million. Importantly is exit at the right time so that you can enter another property at the right time as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you are getting a profit, if you are getting a good tidy sum, I would say, after about 3 years of investment, for example, if you are getting like 100,000 after 3 years of investment, I think that's quite a good investment going on there. Yeah.
But of course, importantly, we got to look at the future. Today, if you're holding on to this property, is there chance for it to even grow further? Okay, if you think that the chances are limited, right, it's wise to just let go at the price that is comfortable to even the buyers out there, so that you can take your money and go into another property with better investment choices.
Yeah, because a lot of us will fall into the trap like, if I hold it longer, it may go higher. Right?
So this really needs studies. Or don't think that by holding a property. Of course, able to hold a property is key. But of course, on the other side, able to let go at the right time to go into another one makes it a more important attribute.
So in a way, we were talking about more focus on our goals of retirement.
Yes.
When a property hits the right price at the right time, let it go and go into another one.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's how you roll your investments.
Yeah, because ultimately we are building net worth. Yeah. So the key important feature of Water Concept is really to build your net worth using methods below, which we have stated. So having gone into details of the Water Concept, what are the problems that we face in execution?
Yeah, I'm sure with every concept, every idea, there are bound to have some issues with it or frequently asked questions about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the number one thing that we have that is faced by a lot of clients is really their belief system.
I mean, everybody out there will be thinking, does it even work or not? Where to find the money? You know, that might be that kind of thing.
All right. So a typical case is always like that. This concept, retirement investment, is really only for the well-to-do. It's not for us typical HDB dwellers.
Yeah. A lot of people will be like, okay, I'm comfortable here. I'll just settle here until my retirement.
Use CPF and finish my loan, case closed, wait for everything to happen. Yeah. Okay, so but then we do have a typical HDB case. A 3-room successfully upgraded to a 5-room flat.
Yes.
All right. Initially, when we met them, do you remember at the door? Then they were telling us, no, we don't have any intention to sell. We are very comfortable here. We are a family of 4. The children are taking 1 room. We are taking 1 room. I think it's more than enough.
Yeah, because I think a lot of their concern came from we are a single income family. How do we go about getting a bigger place? Even though, as much as we like to, we have a boy and a girl. We would like them to have 2 different rooms each. But it's not possible.
Yeah. So the few questions that we asked them is, number 1, okay, based on your 3-room HDB now, how do you plan to retire? And they say, retirement is not in mind. Okay, then the second question asked to them is, okay, in case of anything, okay, do you plan to work till your deathbed? They say, no leh. So, but then next question we ask them is, how much do you think is enough for you per month? Okay, the question, they should throw back the answers to us. 3,000 is a comfortable sum for retirement from age 65. Okay, but then at the rate that they're going, 300,000 is not possible.
Yeah.
So then of course, then we spoke to them, we do a detailed calculation, showing them that, the HB that they are sitting on is actually good to sell because it's just MOP.
So when it's just MOP, it's always at the higher selling price.
Yes, higher selling price. Then after that, you will start to stagnate and eventually start to come down a bit. All right. So with the handsome profit that they made, we actually suggested them into going to a 5-room flat. The reason because, with a 5-room flat, eventually when you want to retire, you have a choice of selling off your 5-room flat, getting the cash out, and then going into a 3-room back again. Yeah, and that in the process is likely to bring you about 200,000 to 300,000 cash on hand. Yeah, unless eventually in the future 3-room flat is higher than a 5-room flat. but that's highly impossible.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
highly impossible.
Yeah. So then
Mm.
the next thing they're worried of is of course the monthly payment and things like that. So we did a detailed financial calculation for them and they realized that they only need to fork out $200 extra per month.
Yeah.
Okay, so initially when we tell them $200, they were saying, wow, $200 are a lot. But when you divide it into days, right, it's
Yeah.
less than $10 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then after that, they say, oh yeah, it's actually quite possible. And so what happened? Well, they are now happy owners of a 5-room
Five-room
HDB in Admiralty.
Yeah.
Having set off their 3-room in Yishun, they upgrade to a 5-room, very spacious, beautiful scenery looking 5-room HDB on a high floor.
Yes, and they are so happy about it because
Yeah.
they can now be able to entertain their guests.
Yes, and with this, with the belief system in them, they are now looking forward to, growing and giving their family a good life. And eventually, when they need to retire, they have plans to even sell it off
Mm.
and going back into a smaller HDB.
Yes, when the children leave the nest, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So then the second case is, people will say that, oh, my finance is not strong. Yeah. So I cannot do.
Mm.
Okay, I don't have the luxury of cash and things like that. Okay, we don't need you to be very rich, but the important thing is you must have a stable and active income. I would say you must be working.
Yeah. Only if you're working, then you are able to get a housing loan.
Yes, and then this planning actually includes a lot of detailed risk management, financial calculation, your forced savings, the amount of cash you have, the amount of loan you can get, and how comfortable you are into going into the next property that we have actually carefully selected for you.
Yes, and of course, with all the regulations that the government has came out with, I would say most Singaporeans who are working are very comfortable with paying off their mortgages.
Yeah, 30 years, 25 years, or even 20 years or
Yeah.
less. All right, importantly is when you're using your servicing or loan, if possible, try not to use everything from your CPF. Yeah, because the accrued interest is going to scare you eventually.
Yes. If for those who have not really used their CPF,
Don't use.
I mean, try as much as possible. This is a great thing by the government for retirement, but at the same time, if you realize when you're using it for housing mortgages,
Yeah.
and when the accrual interest start to accumulate, it becomes a scary sum.
Yeah. We have clients who bought their property 25 years ago for 350,000.
Yeah.
Okay. At this point of time, when they're trying to sell their property, right, it becomes they have to pay back the CPF 700,000.
About that.
Yeah, we don't know how the sums really work out to this amount, but based on the accrued interest and things like that, it really come up to this amount. Alright, so then back into the financial not strong and things like that, we do have a typical case here. Alright, this couple in their 40s, right?
Yeah.
They actually look for us and say that, they are planning to upgrade. In fact, they have read about our water concept. They are happy about it. They think that, they need to go into a bigger property so that they can retire at 55 to a smaller one.
Yes. They're currently staying in a 4-room flat.
Yeah.
But they were thinking like, okay, if I need to invest, I think this is the time for me to go into investing because I'm in my 40s already.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So initially they were looking at executive apartment because they realized that the comfortable amount of money could be into an executive apartment. Alright, but after our detailed calculation and things like that, right, we realized that they could comfortably go into an EC, executive condo, and yet have a rainy day funds as well as being able to stay in the property until the new ECTOP.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say it's a swap without having to pay extra for your rental.
Correct. So it's one of the beauty I would say about getting an EC is their deferred payment scheme.
Yes. A lot of people say, wow, 3% extra is so much. But the 3% if you work it out, is just barely a year rental.
Yeah, in fact, now with the rental market that is going so hot.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what happened was that they were very skeptical initially because they said, wow, sure not EC, it's a condo, no, we cannot go into it. Okay, but after showing them the sums, showing them everything, they realized that it's actually much more affordable than they think.
Yeah, without, it's so comfortable with their income. And, they don't need to actually give up on their lifestyle.
Yes. Okay, so they were initially concerned about a few things. Number one is really the pricing. Okay, number two, is it really a safe entry on the EC or in fact is North Gaia?
Mm.
Okay, is it really safe to enter? Is the price really good? Okay, number 3, can they really exit as per what we propose?
Yeah.
So let's go into details of all this. All right.
Yes.
Number 1, financial wise, we have stated. Okay, we plan for them. Sui. Okay, no fear. They are ready. They have the funds. Number 2 is of course the entry. Okay, they are thinking, hey, the current EC only 34% sold, if I'm not wrong. 39% sold. All right. So they're thinking, hey, should we even go into EC that is not selling? Okay, but a detailed study around the projects nearby shows them that they are actually in a very safe hand to enter the property, because nearby property is selling more expensive, older. Okay, the ECs in Yishun are making good profit and things like that. So they are actually entering at a very safe price.
Yeah, initially they were thinking, wow, not many sold, huh?
Yeah.
How,
Yeah.
is it even good? But you know how Singaporeans, right? When there's a queue, we like to queue up.
Yeah, but no queue, they're not.
No
buy.
queue means the food is no good.
You show them evidence, they also say cannot buy.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm glad that our client actually took the leap of faith and believe in us and go into it. Okay, then the last thing is really they're asking whether this property can exit or not. Yeah.
How next time can we sell or not?
Yeah, so we show them the fact that there's more and more BTOs coming up. Okay, many of the BTO are in fact in tandem with the TOP of North Gaia. Okay, so what happens is when this BTO reaches MOP, is also the time when North Gaia reaches MOP.
So when people from the HDB MOP, they want to do an upgrade,
North Gaia will probably be one of the properties that they're looking
because that will be the youngest
and the cheapest. Okay, so not only that, okay, the third one that we're looking at is really the age.
Yeah.
A lot of people will say one thing, I'm too young to start. No, I want to enjoy my life because it's too young.
Yeah, I don't want to be burdened with something so expensive.
Yeah, then the second group of people we have is I'm too old to plan.
Yeah. I've been living in my house so comfortably already. Why should I be moving or why should I be forking out money? Why don't I just keep the cash for my retirement?
Yes. So we have to reiterate this point. It's never too young to start. In fact, you should work towards saving a sum of money so that you can go into your first property, be it a HDB, resale HDB if you are really so young, a private property, or if you are at age 35, go into your private HDB or first BTO. And you are never too old, because we recently have one case, Real Vista, the auntie. Yeah, she was sitting on a property that has fully paid.
Yeah,
but she was thinking of selling over the past 5 years, but never took that action. Yeah, so when we met up with her, she called us. She said, hey, I'm planning to sell, but I don't know whether I should sell or not. Yeah, so then when we go up to her, we actually, did a calculation, a plan, and tell her that, hey, actually you can sell and you make a handsome profit. You can even downgrade to a property of your choice, which she wanted, by the pub and so on and so forth.
Yes.
But she's comfortable to stay in HDB. And she wants to give a sum of money to her son to help him to purchase a property as well. Yeah, so by selling off her Real Vista, that unit, she can realize all her goals.
Yes.
Eventually, nicely. And of course, she's a happy lady now also.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to, all the renovation and stuff like that, and moving into the new house and still be able to do her activities.
Yeah.
She loves cycling.
Yeah, so having said that, I think probably whatever we have said today is really a bit too much for you all to consume and digest. All right, but we do have come up with an ebook written by the two of us. It's an ebook on early retirement using water concept. All right, and this ebook speaks in details of what we say today, actively explaining what is active income, what is passive income, the form of investment, and why real estate investment, and how should you go about starting it.
Yes. So if you like to get an ebook, just feel free to
Contact
comment
us.
below.
Email, contact, or whatever. Reach out to us and we'll send the ebook to you. No cost, free.
Yes, a free ebook. Okay.
Yeah, the reason why it's free is because we really want to help people out there. Okay, we don't want you to be misinformed by concepts and things like that. So this ebook is really for you. Read, understand before you make a further move.
Yes, and if after reading the ebook you like to find out more,
of course, feel free to call us.
Yes.